And this matter is People versus Kenneth Lloyd Brees. Mr. Brees is here with his lawyer, Mr. Luke Nausinger. He got a ticket originally for operating while intoxicated, no insurance, driving while suspended. And then the prosecutor filed a formal complaint that superseded the ticket. So the formal complaint says that you were operating while intoxicated as a third or subsequent offense in the village of Constantine on February 11th. Operating while intoxicated, third offense is a felony. It's punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $5,000, 6 points, and the suspension of your license. I think this is actually your fifth offense, but they've charged it. It only goes up to third offense. The complaint says you live in Flint, but I think do you live in Constantine?
Yes.
Featherstone Road?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Knopfinger, what's the status here?
Judge, the issue here is we're going to challenge the pullover. Officer says he did not use his turn signal. We were able to get the dash cam very clearly. Mr. Brees does use his turn signal. Don't think there's a basis for a stop. This is an issue. Broached the issue with Chief Assistant Prosecutor Robert yesterday. Sort of defer to the court procedurally how it would prefer. We're set for prelim next week.
Well, why don't we just leave it on for a prelim and then we can take the testimony at that time.
Okay. I'd prefer, Judge, that it just be limited to that issue. I think it would be unnecessary. I don't have a basis to challenge any labs or anything like that. I'm not suggesting I'd stipulate to those facts, but if it could just be limited to that issue, just to in means of, I guess, judicial economy.
Which I appreciate, but if we're gonna have a prelim, we might as well, is it a blood draw?
Yeah.
So we'd have Mr. Brees, there's a special rule for I had the camera locked on me the whole time, so nobody saw any of the people. Sorry about that. I did that first thing this morning.
Well, and he could reach out to the officer. It's the same issue we see multiple times on these OWI cases. The police cameras don't turn on until after lights and sirens are activated. So we've seen it multiple times. The initial traffic infraction is not caught on film because the cameras aren't on at that point. You can hear when the officer goes up to the driver's window, he talks about multiple things that happened that he observed before the traffic stop. So I think it will be, become clear pretty quickly what happened.
All right, well, let's just leave it on for prelim.
I will say there was an offer extended of OWI third offense with no habitual. If the preliminary exam is held, that offer would be revoked and there'd be no further negotiations on this case in circuit court.
I will say that the dash cam starts well before the lights go on. In fact, there's about a minute.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. And even that may not be completely dispositive, but let me say this, if he goes kicking and screaming into this, I'm not gonna consider him for sobriety court. If he's willing to accept responsibility. So that's a hard balance when he may have a technical defense to the stop.
And Judge, from our perspective, that's a difficult calculus. I think it's important to ensure that the constitutional rights are protected here before we make any kind of decision about potential disposition of the case.
All right, Mr. Brees, your driving privileges are suspended, so you can't drive. You understand that? Now, there are Breeses from here in town. Are you related to them? From the ones in St. Joe County?
Brees, I don't know of any other Breeses in.
Well, there are quite a few. So you're from Flint originally?
Detroit.
Okay. All right, well, we'll leave it on for prelim for March 24th at 1 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
And I guess we'll see where it takes us. A preliminary examination is a hearing where it must be established that there's probable cause to believe that a crime was committed and probable cause that you did it. You don't get found guilty or not guilty at a preliminary examination. However, everybody's under oath. And so it'll be an opportunity for your lawyer to question the officer under oath about the nature of the stop. And so we can sort of combine both things into one hearing. All right, that will be next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. You're good to go. Your bond is continued.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, I have Andrew Chubb. Mr. Chubb, would you come forward? Good morning, sir. Are you Andrew Aaron Chubb?
Yes, sir.
They walked it, they just handed me this.
I think he was on yesterday's, Your Honor, pretty sure.
He was on yesterday's, but we got, and the power was turned off, so he weren't, so he came back today, so I appreciate that. Judge Pattison had a hearing last week regarding restitution in a case that you were involved in receiving concealing stolen property.
Yes, sir.
He did not feel you were very forthcoming in that case. This is a felony possession of methamphetamine case, and I don't know why it got just set for an arraignment. I was trying to figure it out when it was handed to me a few minutes ago, and I haven't figured it out, but you showed up yesterday. You showed up again today, so I'm gonna arraign you. Now, the address 116 Middle Street doesn't exist anymore, does it?
No.
And I think the house got torn down. What's your address?
I have one.
All right. Well, first of all, let me tell you that possession of methamphetamine, let me look at this. Let's see if it's even in my queue. There it is. Thank you, Jenny. The complaint says that on December 18th of 2025 in the city of Three Rivers, you possess methamphetamine, according to Mr. Joshua D. Robert. That is a felony punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $15,000. That warrant got authorized by the prosecutor in February, and the officer signed it February 17th. Anyway, you were here with Judge Pattison, and I don't know why they didn't just deal with it then. But anyway, here it is. You presented yourself yesterday and again today. There was a backpack and some torches and some other stuff. All right. The clerk that gave it to me wasn't able to understand why it got set for an arraignment either, but it did, or who said it, and why it didn't get dealt with when you were here before. So there's a lot of unanswered questions, but I'm going to appoint an attorney and set an attorney or pre-exam conference that will be March 31st at 8:30, and a preliminary examination if needed for April 7th. Yeah, 1 o'clock. So where do you mostly stay?
With my uncle,
Which is where?
Leon is.
The 116 Middle Street was the the May house that got, I think, torn down. Are you related to the Mays?
No, sir. The
Okay,
Mays house is right beside the church. My house was farther down.
okay. Have you been down Middle Street?
Not lately, no.
Did you see what the tornado did to it?
No, not
You-
for a week.
You won't like it. One time I said this, Middle Street was a very fine street. Of nice, big, single-family homes. It's fallen on hard times, but the tornado just damaged almost every house on the street. All right, I guess I'm supposed to set a PR bond. As I said, Judge Pattison was not impressed with your presentation in that larceny case. He believes you know more about it than what you professed about all that valuable property that was stolen, but he did the best he could. Morning, Mr. Gabriel. Anyway, look, I guess as a walk-in, I'm supposed to set a PR bond. $2,500 cash or surety. This happened in December. Small amount of methamphetamine. He's been here at least 3 times while this matter's been pending. So you're not a flight risk. You came yesterday, the power was out, came again today. You do need to get fingerprinted. No drugs and no alcohol. Test as directed. Are you employed anywhere?
Yeah, I work for my uncle.
What does he do?
I do farm work.
What's his name?
Anthony?
Chup?
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Chup, you were here to address this. I guess I'll give you credit for that. You're gonna need to get fingerprinted. You're gonna need to sign a PR bond. I don't know why you didn't just get arrested and taken to jail and mugshotted it, but somebody gave you an appearance date and you appeared. So there's a court rule that says I'm supposed to take that into consideration when setting the bonds. So your next court date is March 31st. We're gonna get an attorney appointed to represent you. So I want you to go out to the counter. We'll get the lawyer to help you with this. I want you to call the lawyer and make an appointment to discuss this with them. I don't see that you owe me any money. And you gotta sign a bond form. I didn't do the whole elaborate form. Get some help from the clerk, so he needs to get printed.